Hi all, welcome back to more Enemy Action Ardennes, playing the Allied solo. This is my take 2, and this is the 16th part 11. Okay, so just the next again day from I'm recording part 10, so I'm getting a couple bits done. Might get another bit done tomorrow as well, we shall see. Yeah, a mistake to pick up on, which I'm sure most of you noticed, if not everybody that was watching. I don't think I've ever done this before. I could be wrong. I've certainly missed a couple of times the colours. Is it the colours of they ones and they ones on the card can mix you up a little bit. But I don't think I've ever activated a core when it was a division card. Yeah, I mean, maybe I have. Fortunately, it's a small core, this, and well, it was David that picked it up. Well, shall I say it was David that mentioned it. Not that I'm knocking that David. It needs to be brought to my attention, clearly. But like I say, I'm sure most of you noticed that it should have just been the 5th FJ division. FJ, that's going to be... No, I'm not even going to pronounce that word. Anyway, it's just that division, and there's 3 units in the division, as you can see. It's not the whole core. Did anything move? Yeah, this guy did, didn't he? He came across... He went... Oh, actually, yeah. David said... I didn't really study it, but he did say that it didn't change anything. So this guy would have still moved to there. He's from the 5th. He crossed the river from the 5th. And my guess is he sat still. And these are the other 2 units. This independent armoured unit, and then this from the 352nd whatever infantry. They didn't move. We done a check, and we also done an attack check on that, didn't we? Well, just as well that didn't go ahead. Oh no, yeah, he's part of the 5th as well, so that was a fair enough check. This shouldn't have been a check at all because these weren't active, these 2. But yeah, like I said, don't think I've done that before, but I suppose you could easily... I guess I'm sort of thinking it's because I've not been at the game as much and I'm just getting a bit lax, and I just drew that card thinking it was a whole core. I mean, the core cards, all that top part's pink, isn't it? Let me see if I've got it there. Yeah, there. I mean, there it's there. That's why they've done it that way. So this is the whole core. This is just the division, and what the division that it's talking about. Anyway, thanks for bringing it to attention, David. And yes, we got away with that one. Just as well, it hadn't been one of the bigger cores, the 47th or the 1st SS, and then here's me activating the whole core, and it should have just been one of the divisions. Anyway. Okay, let's get on. Well, yeah, I don't think there was anything else. Like I say, I just done that yesterday. Watched it back pretty quick myself. Didn't notice the error myself. And then uploaded it. So let's push on. See if we can, finish this day. Yeah, only the first day, the 16th. So, I mean, the Germans are done. Their cards are done. We've got 2 cards left, as we know. And, we're only going to get 1 impulse. And yeah, I know I talked about, could we... activate. Well, it's either 5th core or 18 core, or activate any one unit. I'm pretty sure I haven't done that yet. And yeah, I remember. Actually, I'll probably not get that handy. I remember the system I used in the previous. Well, I say I remember. The only reason I remember is because I was watching back some of the old footage, and I had the white marker from Terraforming Mars, which is it's the sort of shape and size of a sugar cube. And I was using that and then just laying it on top of the cards when I'd activated that. So I'll try and hunt that out. I don't see it here. Because if I've got something laying on top of there to say that I've activated any one unit for the day, anytime I go to draw a card, that'll remind me that it's been done, and then remove that. Like I say, I think Kharkov, that's one of the things that they added, was a counter that says you've activated your unit for the day. So what we're going to do, 5th core or 18 core? 18 core, these are the 2 units that are dispersed. They would remove their dispersal. Yeah, I did sort of think at first about, we can move them into some 5th, but we can't. They're dispersed. The other units up here, I want to say, yeah, I want to say he would build an IP if we activate them. This guy, I did consider like moving across the river. He would then lose his IP with that, but he'd be in a better position. Now hang on, he can't move across the river in there though, Grant. He's going to have to go into there, isn't he? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're still holding a line there, aren't they? These first SS units can't get through there until they break through. So there's not a great issue there. I want to say there's 2 5th Corps units would build IPs, and yeah, I think this was a possibility where I could consider an attack. Now, what would we be getting for a combat tactic? We would be getting engineers. So let's just remind ourselves. Well, actually, is it the same for the Allies? +1 strength, and remove an IP, and they can't build an IP or something like that. Add 1 to attacker's combat strength. In addition, remove an IP marker from defender's hex. Well, the Germans don't have any IPs. And disregard German combat tactics calling for placement of an IP. So they wouldn't if they drew the combat tactic, they wouldn't get an IP. So +1 strength, I suppose, is the bit to sort of. I think it would be up here. And did I not say this attack either on here or maybe here? But both these guys are 4 strength. But that's 5. Although attacking with green units there, and then the elite is an R3, 8. Man, it's 2-1. And he's in, you know what? Well, actually, he's in a west wall. Did they get something for the west wall? I'm not sure. Actually, I feel like they should. He's in a forest as well, but west wall. Where am I going to find that? An attack sequence, I guess. Half the total strength. No, this is for the German attack determination. Let me see. Hang on, let's see if I can find this. Here we go. Yeah, I was struggling to kind of find it, but I'm looking in the right area and it's where it should be. It's under combat hits. So page 46, hit total adjustments. The hit total is adjusted in the following situations. If the defender occupies a town, city or improved position or west wall hex in case of German defenders, total number of German hits is reduced by 1. So he's going to get that. And the fact we play the combat engineers does not remove that part of it. So he's still going to soak up a hit there. It's probably silly, this, isn't it? Because all I'm doing is adding a strength, stop him from playing yeah, it's daft. It's daft. We're on the defence, Grant. It's likely to go wrong. So, I suppose I'm just trying to avoid having to lose a card. Like I say, I think I'm pretty sure that's another thing that I've never done in the game, is had a card at the end of the the end of the day, and had to just discard it. Other thing we could do then is deploy this unit, I suppose. He is an elite unit. That's probably maybe the best option when I think about it. Because he is dated the 16th, tomorrow's the 17th, so he's not going to automatically come in. You know, if it was the 18th tomorrow, I would leave him in, then he would automatically come in the reserve phase, but that's not going to happen. It's just annoying losing a card, eh? But the only way you're going to use that card, Grant, is if you carry it in an attack. Another thing you use is use the 5th Corps card for the combat tactics, which is Corps Artillery, but it means you've got to attack with some 18 Corps units. I mean, this guy's here, he's 3 against 5, this is no good, these are both dispersed, so it's just, it's just rubbish, isn't it? Yeah, I think we're just going to have to bite the bullet and just accept that we're losing that card. Activate any one unit doesn't really. I don't think that does anything for me either. I've not got any initial fears of the Germans doing anything. Remember, they start the impulse. They start the impulse the day, don't they? Unless we, I want to say, play. Is it we play an air power card or something? we can stop that from happening. But there's not... We're moving adjacent here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't reach Manhay, so there's no risk of that. They've got a unit in Bastogne. They're not going to move that out of there. Yeah, I don't see an anyone. Yeah, I'm just going to deploy that unit, I think. The 5th Corps card. So, unfortunately, that other card in our hands is going to go to waste. So, we're going to deploy this unit. Deploy all Corps reserves. Now, he can't be deployed strategically. Now, he's from the 1st Division. I don't think they're in play, though, are they? I seem to recall that they've still to come in. Yeah, the two of them, the other 2 of them come in. No, sorry, that's a 1st and a 9th. So one of them comes in on the 17th. And then there's another one comes in on the, what looks like the 19th, I think. Yeah. So... Yeah, so let's go to deploy reserve then, Grant. So it's maybe section 7, maybe? Something like that. Yeah. So, so it's going to be standard Allied reserve deployment on page 18, if you're following along. Within the unit's core area, right, that's their core area, and just north of that blue line. And then in a row types of Allied supply head. Now, this is where... That's not where the von der Heide can interfere with things. This is his whole purpose, I think. But that and am I not right in saying that Germans can score a victory point if they rescue them or something? What does it tell us about this von der Heide unit? Because he's actually stopping supply trace on both these roads, isn't he? He's in low supply, but that isn't... Oh no, hang on, is he not bracketed? He is. Yeah, it's difficult to find his purpose. If you go on Board Game Geek, you'll probably see a few questions about what's the purpose of them. Yeah, it would make more sense if they were actually on the road. The fact they don't exert control. Yeah, I find out something about them. I know I've maybe talked about it in the past, but... right, yeah. The purpose in the Allied so is for us deploying this unit. So it's exactly this case, because well, I'll come back to that in a second. 17.1, I just want to pick up on that. Because one of the conditions for deploying this, in fact, it was the next... If I just carried on reading, it would have all sunk into place. Although I knew this had to be 3 axes away from a German unit. But that's the purpose of that von der Heide unit. And we need to deploy this unit at least 3 axes away from a German unit or German town or city, excluding isolated German units. So he's not isolated. So he's going to hamper where we are going to deploy this unit. Which is... yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. So I think if you're playing it as a German solo of that though, you'd probably want it. I mean, I think it would be better purposed like on this road. Hold on, when you deploy it can't be I don't think it can be in a forest hex. Yeah, that's right. And it's in the low supply. Are we activated? We've not had an activation of the whole core, have we? I think I mentioned this quite recently because maybe I forgot about it. No, I'm pretty sure because this is the only card. Remember, all the cards got discarded at the beginning of the day. This is the only card that would have activated the von der Heide, I think. Yeah, and we drew that for a combat tactic. Yeah, because all the primary cards got removed at the beginning. Yeah, so it's not that he would have moved because it's probably... Well, hang on, I was looking for rule 17.1, which tells you about the von der Heide, I think. Well, that's actually under victory points. Is there not a small section talking about it? I think there is, somewhere. 17.1... There, von der Heide relief. This is on page 64. If a German unit enters the hex occupied by the von der Height airborne infantry unit, remove the VDH unit from the map and add a victory point. So, yeah, if they move into that hex, they gain a victory point, basically. But the burden to us is actually the deployment. I'm just wondering what does the von der Height unit do if it's activated? Well, you know what, I'll look more into that, or somebody might point me to the section where it maybe talks about it. I mean, unless you just, this is a unit that's in low supply, so you just maybe go under the low supply movement rules. I don't know. Right, anyway, going back to deploying this unit, so, yeah, come on Grant, we could get a bit done here if you don't just get on with it a bit. Okay, so within 3 hexes, well, not within 3 hexes of a German unit, and not in or adjacent to a hex occupied by German detachment markers, no detachments yet. The distance is reduced to 2 hexes of placing the unit in a map edge hex. So if we were up in the map edge, it would only need to be 2 hexes away. For instance, I could put it in that hex there, because it's within 2 of that, because it's on the map edge. Now, within these restrictions, you place a unit within 3 hexes of a unit in the same division. We've not got any of the same division. If this is not possible, then place it within 3 hexes of a unit in the same corps. Right, so it's got to go within 3 of one of the 5th Corps units. And it's got to be 3 away from German units. It's got to be on this. See, I can't get it on the. And maybe that's why that is put there, because I can't even put it there, you know. Well, it's got to be on 1, 2, 3. I can't put it there because it's within 2 of that. Ooh, that's actually. No, hang on, no, Grant. You could just put it here, couldn't you? Yeah. Which is fine, I think, isn't it? In fact, I could just stack it with that guy. I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a few places I could put it. I could put it here or here, couldn't I? Don't think it really matters. I can't put it in Bollingen here because that's 2 away. I think I'll maybe just put it here, I think. It's on that crossroads there. So that's within the core area. Now it's in a road hex, let's say, that can trace supply up and off the edge. It's at least 3 hexes away from a German unit or German town or city. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is 4 away from that. So all good there. It's not in or adjacent to hex occupied by a German detachment. And then within these restrictions, it's within 3 of a unit in the same corps. Right, that's it. Fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Right. So that's that. That's all we do with that card. That gets discarded. And then, because it's the end of impulse, we do have 1 card left in our hand. We can't do nothing with that. So that's discarded. So, right. So this is the end of the day then. End of day phase. Okay. Yeah, that's all cards being played. We've repeated impulses. The day's ended. The space for a current day includes victory levels. Check to see if you've won or lost. Well, that doesn't. That's not the case. We're just on the 16th there. So, discard all unplayed cards in your hand and draw a pile. Well, I've discarded a card. Return all combat chips to the cup. So the ones that were set aside in this cup go back into the main cup. There wasn't that many of them. Remove all dispersed and out of fuel markers from the map. Okay, we've got some dispersed markers on our units here and here. I think that's it. Yeah, because we removed the one off the 9th armoured guy. There's no out of fuel markers. Okay. Check all German detached markers for removal. Well, there's none of them. Advance day marker the next day on the calendar and start a new day. So we go on to the 17th. And so some special rules that were in place on the 16th, like... Yeah, I forgot about the slow allied reaction. We didn't move any infantry though, did we? No. If we were, we did realise, I think we were going to use the razor arm. Yeah, John Brown brought that up, didn't he? I was talking about moving the unit, but the razor arm avoids that restriction. We couldn't blow a bridge, so now we can blow a bridge. We can play allied artillery combat tactics as well as the core artillery. There's no... Yeah, our non-mechanised units are not restricted to moving just one hex. And yeah, that's it. So their rules are getting removed. Now, is there any special rules that arrive on the 17th? So German fixed artillery, I'm looking at the back of the book there. It's on the calendar, but obviously the units are there. So I could possibly just show this. This is in the back of the book. I want to say I might be jumping out of turn here, but I don't think this was in Kharkov. They didn't have this extra bit. I might be talking rubbish there. This seems to be something that I was thinking about. Right, so on the 17th, fixed artillery range, it was there, comparing it to the 16th, it was 3 as well. Oops, right, zoom out a little bit there. Our allied supplemental cars go up to 5, they were 4. Our allied hand size goes up to 5, it was 4, so it's slightly better for us. And then these are the new rules that come in. So German extended move comes in. So movement method 10, when they're moving via arrows, it is. When they reach their full movement distance, they get to move some extra hexes. And then placing German detachments, which is a bit of a... It's not the my favourite part of the game, but I understand it. Well, I sort of understand why it needs to be there, like, but it's not the most exciting part. But anyway, it is there. So that kicks in as well. Okay. Right, so we go back to the beginning and start a new day. So the first phase... yeah, of course we skipped these phases, didn't we? We skipped these phases on the first day. The first 3 phases, which are the reserve phase, the card preparation phase, and then the supply phase. Right. So this is on page 13, the sequence of play. You want to follow along. So we take allied units from the calendar space for the current day and place them in the reserve units box. German units remain on the calendar. Yeah, and you'll see, and this was, somebody asked the question on BGG about the German units, how they come from the reserve units. How they come from the calendar down to the reserve units, and that's through the play of the. And I said play. I was going to add a little bit to my because I went and answered that question, but I was going to add a little bit to it. Anytime the army group card gets played, and even if it gets discarded. Now, there is times when it could just get discarded. If it gets discarded, you still then trigger that rule where that's when these reserves come down and, from the calendar into the reserve units box. Whenever that card appears. And then his follow-up question was, well, it wasn't really a question, it was a statement. The follow-up statement was, on the 16th, the Germans don't get any reserves. And that's correct, because the army group card is removed at the start, so you're not going to see the army group card, so this unit's never going to appear until the 17th. And it will appear on the 17th at some point. So maybe a little strange, that one. I don't know, maybe it's not. Anyway, we get our guys down, so let's get... Yeah, I think I was pointing at the Allied reserve box there, but however. So these come down, and then we get these 3 armoured units. 7th armoured units of the 18th Corps. And then the Germans have one unit on the calendar too. So once the army group card appears, both these units will come down into the German reserve units box. And then whenever the card gets drawn, they'll get deployed and blah blah blah. Or, no, actually, they don't really deploy them. They come in combat and things like that, don't they? They come in differently, don't they? Anyway, right, that's the first part. So that's our units down. So we've got some nice reserves there, which we need. Now then, it says from the 18th on, well, it's not the 18th, but if it was, we'd get to deploy units that were there from 2 days earlier. If the conditions for releasing German OKW are met, place the OKW units. I'm not going to look up the conditions, but I'm going to say that no, that's not quite right. I want to say they need to have a unit adjacent to the Muse, which is not anywhere near that. So, right, moving on to the card preparation phase. Using the Allied command card display, prepare the Allied draw pile. Prepare the Allied draw pile for the draw initial hand as follows. Right, as in reinforcement cards, well, you can see this one's dated the 17th, and so is this one, and so is this one, and so is this one. So we get 4 cards, obviously the 12 core units. Well, there's only one of them coming in the reserve units box, but we've got some of them in play as well, haven't we? So it must bring in, well, it brings in these 2 cards and then 2 division cards for the 5th Corps and the 18th Corps. Yeah, 7th Armoured Division, that they come in, don't they? And then that one's the 1st and the 9th Infantry, yeah. So all these cards come into play. So, right, so if they're primary, hang on, face down in the draw pile if primary, right? There's only one of these primaries, so that goes face down in there, right? So because we always draw the primaries. Now there's 3 supplemental cards here. They go face down the available supplemental card box. So these are the available supplemental cards. These are the supplemental cards we're not going to see today on the 17th. So we shuffle the available supplementals, these, which I will just do off camera. I'm sure you trust me. Don't know what I'd be looking for anyway, to be honest, if I was to arrange them. So we've shuffled all them up, and then we draw the number of cards indicated in the calendar. And I want to say that was 4, wasn't it? So Allied supplemental. Oh no, it's went up to 5. So we draw 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to draw 5 of them. These are the other ones that go back. These are the 5 that I've randomly drawn. So these now go in our draw pile as well. Is that right? Place face down in the draw pile, and then place all the supplemental discards from the previous day. And I like to just double check that these are all supplementals. They are. These just go face down. They'll be available, possibly available randomly for the next day. And then place all the primary discards from the previous day face down in the draw pile, because we always get the primaries. There was only 3 of them there. So these all get put face down in there. And then we shuffle this up, and we're going to draw, we shuffle these up, and we're going to draw our hand size for the day, which was also 5. So give me a second while I do that. Right, done. Drawing our 5 cards. Haven't had a look at them yet. And there's only 4 cards left. There's only 9 cards in total. Let's try and use them all this time, though. That was a bit... I don't think I passed at any time, though, did I? I think I talked about maybe passing 1 point. Maybe I did. If I did pass, then that's been a mistake. I just don't feel like I did, but anyway. So prepare the German draw pile now. So basically I think we just shuffle all these up, don't we? Shuffle the German card deck, including discards from the previous day, to form the German draw pile. Right, I'll give these a good shuffle, because remember all the primaries were at the bottom with the army cards, so yeah, give me a second. Right, all shuffled up and ready to go. And remember the reinforcement cards then don't come into play. They only come in when the reserves are triggered and you check the date to see if... but you can see none of these cards are going to come into play. I've got these in order. 19 is going to be the first time that you see any extra cards for them. German Fading Initiative doesn't start till the 19th as well, but just the reminder of what that does, after forming the German draw pile, discard the number of cards indicated on the calendar, 4.2. So on the 19th, the discards is just 1. So we would discard the top card of that and hope that it was a good one. Like, as in a bad one for us. Okay, on to the supply phase. Right, I'm not going to go too much more. Half an hour. Still got a little bit of time though, but I think I'll maybe not get into the... right, supply phase. So this is from the 17th. However, the first step is generate German detachments. That doesn't start till the 18th. And then step 2 is determine supply status of all Allied units and roadblocks. And from the 19th, all German units. Well, so we're not checking German units. However, I want to say, does the Vonderheit unit not need to be checked here? Hang on a second. 13 and 13. Well, hang on. No, I was just browsing through there. I came across on page 43, rule 12.37. I just seen the mention of Vonderheit. Do not draw a German card for combat tactics if you're attacking the German Vonderheit unit, even if in supply. See the details for the Vonderheit command event describing events and tactics. Play rate. Yeah, why didn't you just look there for it? Vonderheit. If the VDH unit is not attempted to be occupied, right. Once placed, VDH may not move, may not retreat if attacked, and is never activated. Oh well, there you go then. Check VDH supply per normal supply rules during the supply phase every day. So I had a feeling that was in... No Allied reserve unit may be deployed within 3 axes of a non-isolated VDH unit. And that's the purpose of it. And we've just seen how that did affect our last impulse, didn't it? Okay, so... But we do need... It is checked for supply on this day, because it does say every day. Even though we're not checking any German units until the 19th. So I'll probably mention it in the supply rules here. There's nothing jumping out that tells me I have to check it in the supply phase, but I'm pretty sure that makes that clear. Check VD8 supply per normal supply rules during the supply phase every day. I mean, surely it would say from the 19th, you know, if it was. Okay, well, let's... Yeah, you should be able to look at that. We've got to check for roadblocks as well. So our roadblocks the same. A roadblock in a hex not an allied supply during the supply phase is removed. Right, okay. I think I know how to do this. I should. So I'm just going to kind of go top to bottom. I mean, these guys, right, let's be careful about it though, and let's maybe make sure. So this guy can't trace into that hex because he's exerting zone of control, but he can just go 1, 2, 3. Remember, they can trace 4 hexes to reach where they need to. This guy is fine. This guy only needs to trace to there. He's fine. And remember, you can trace through friendly units as well. And the one exception, obviously, you're crossing an unbridged river. It's only a 1 hex trace rather than the 4. So this guy's fine. These guys are fine. There's nothing really surrounding any of these. These are all fine. This is fine. Just needs to reach here. Actually, I'll come back to the Vonderheit then. Let's just deal with allied units. Right, what about this guy here though? He's possibly in... Oh no, he's okay, I think. Because he can't trace into that hex, can't trace into that hex. So the only hex he can trace into is across this unbridged river and here. I think that's actually a valid supply hit, because from there he can trace through that friendly unit, through that friendly unit, through that unoccupied allied controlled town, and then on to there and away. That's right, isn't it? From there, The road path may be traced through a hex in an enemy zone of control only if occupied by a friendly unit. Yeah. Yeah, so he traces in there. This is one hex trace. He's then on a supply road that is fine. Okay, so he's okay. These guys are fine. Yeah. And this guy's fine. Oops. Yeah, it would help if you showed that. This guy's fine. Yeah, because all these German units, they're broke through there, but they're not interfered in and up that corner there. So that's all fine. All this guy down here's fine. Now, right. So down here we've got an surrounded unit here. He obviously, and he's not got a friendly unit adjacent where he can get his supply from. I remember talking about that, but yeah, I mean, all we were able to do was deploy these two units. We weren't then given the, well, there you go. Could you have? Could I have done my any one unit move? Can any one unit end adjacent to a German unit? Oh, I think so. No, Grant. Because you'd have to use extended movement. So although I could extend the move 1, 2, 3, 4, I couldn't extend it into either there or there. So if I'd been clever, no, I couldn't have deployed them there because that's just 2 away. They need to be 3 away from that one. If I had deployed them there, I would have then been able to do an any one unit move and go 1, 2, 3, or 3, and then that guy would have been in supply. So there you go. There's something to think about. Well, it's past now. I mean, there was no threat to this town, really, was there? I mean, I would have had to deploy them both in the same hex because they're from the same division, but, you know, next time I activate them, the other one could move down into the town, for instance. Yeah, I should have done that. Well, yeah. Well, it's done now. So this guy's not in supply, so he's going to get a low supply. Where are they? Here. That's out of supply. This one, low supply. So he's going to move from to a low supply status. And then, obviously, if he's like that, come the next supply check, he'll go out of supply, and then the next one he'll go isolated, and then the next one he's got to start rolling to see if he's eliminated or whatever. Right, this guy can trace into here, that's fine. Remember, all these map edges are, eventually some of these become not available to the Allies as the Germans move along, but we'll look at that when the time comes. And then these are fine as well. Right, and we don't check any German units, well, apart from the Wunderheit. So if we are checking him, he's surely going to be out of supply, isn't he? Well, yeah, because although there's nothing along, yeah, let's look at the big picture. Although there's nothing along here, these are all Allied towns and bridges. You know, it can't trace supply even across this bridge. You know, so it would have to come this way, but I mean this is an Allied bridge too, into Malmedy there. This is an Allied bridge, so it can't trace supply, I don't believe. No. Yeah, because I mean. Yeah, because all these bridges, it needs to come across one of these bridges across this river, and they're all Allied controlled. I mean, this is an Allied supply hex edge, map edge, whatever. Yeah. So I think he's going to now go out of supply then. Let me know if I'm missing something with that. I mean, I think that's right. So he's now got no supply. But he still prevents us from placing reserves because until he becomes isolated. So I mean, next day he would become isolated. If the Germans reach his hex, he gets removed and they gain a victory point as well. That's all I thought. Right, I think that's right. I think we do check it. Now, I don't think we wait till the 19th. It does say every day there, so. Okay, supply phase, is that done? Well, almost. Yeah, so place a low supply on each unsupplied unit. If they're already low supply, out of supply. If they're already out of supply, place an isolated marker. So that's what we did. We put a low supply on one of our units. That changed from low supply to out of supply. Right, and the last step 4, Allied Air Introduction. You may play an air power command event from your hand. If you do so, discard the top 2 cards from the German deck and skip the first German impulse of the day. Okay, well, I haven't looked at my hand. I don't know if any of them are available yet on the 18th or not. So we're looking for an air power command event. That's not got an event. That's not got an event. It's got a special event. This has engineers. This has engineers. This doesn't have anything. So no air power. Like I say, I'm not sure if you get any on this date or not. 17th. I kind of feel like it might start on the 18th. So none of that happening, and then we go into command phase, and it starts with a German impulse. Should I 41 minutes? I'd quite like to, because it doesn't feel like I've done an awful lot again. What time is it? I think I could. Let's have a German impulse, yeah. Yeah, I'll do a German impulse and then we'll just leave it at that. Unless it drags on a bit. I mean, if we get the first SS or the 47th, then I might not get right through it. We shall see. Okay, so what am I doing here? Drawing 2 cards, right? Let's draw 2 cards. Remember, we've got all the primaries and all the army cards back now. Right, okay. Now hold on. No, that's not the. Hang on. Right, sorry about that phone call there. So we've got the 5th Panzer Army card and the first SS. Yeah, I was thinking this might have been. You got to watch for the Piper and the 150th, isn't it? But it's not that. It's just the first SS because that I think that takes priority, isn't it, on the 16th and 17th? Anyway, it's not that. So no primary cards. This has got a command value of 4. This has got a command value of 1. So the 5th Panzer Army card is going to be our first German impulse. Okay. So activate the 5th Panzer Army unit with most non-bracketed. Hang on. Is there an event here? No event. No event, the support card, the combat tactic, and the support card is reinforced bow, just to keep in mind. Obviously, if it's assault coordination, it's more, it comes into it a bit more. Anyway, yeah, so back here, the first command that we can do is activate the 5th Panzer Army unit with the most non-bracketed 5th Panzer Army units when 2 hexes in all those units. Activate reserve units in same division as active units. That's the word. That shouldn't be division, should it? That's the one that should be, say, core. Yeah, it's a shame they didn't change because some of these cards were errata, but I guess this change didn't. I'm sure that was one of the things I brought up. Was that not the one that actually John Butterfield commented and said he'd surprised that nobody else had picked up on that one? Obviously, it never got put to change. Yeah, because it's activate reserve units in the same core. It can't be division. Pretty sure that's right. Yeah. As active units, use artillery tactics with all attacks. Okay, so we're looking for a big clump of 5th Army cards. I mean, it's going to be in here, isn't it? Somewhere. My guess is possibly there. You can see we've got 3 units down there. We've got the one in Bastogne, but that's not going to get the most. I mean, these are 5th Panzer Army units as well. So let me have a look and come up with something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's actually there because there's 2 units in there, 3 in there. if I put it to there, I think it becomes 9 because it misses these 2. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting the unit and the hex as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whereas that one there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it's going. Yeah, the further I move it along, and I can't grab any of these. This unit can't grab these. If I went down here, that's one. No, there's only one in there actually. That's a control marker. So there's only 3 down here. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to say that's 10. Let's just mark this. Not with that big dice. So that's the center of our activation. So any, I remember it was non-bracketed, but none of them are bracketed. So any 5th Panzer Army units within the 2 hexes of that are activated. There's no reserves. So that's it. Okay. Right. So we're activating them. Remove allied roadblocks adjacent. Well, yes, we've got one this time. They're going to be able to move in there, aren't they? Damn it. Because this guy's bracketed. Yeah, okay. So there's a German unit adjacent to a roadblock here. German active unit. Remember, he's active. He's within 2. So that comes away. That's only roadblock. And then check the location of the objective marker. See if it's going to move. There's a way along here. It is not within 2 or proximate to a German unit, so it's going to stay where it is. Okay, and then we're going to move the units. Now, 17's kicking in. 17th, so place your German detachment marker as units move 15.1. So I think this part is reasonably straightforward. So I'm going to page 60, German detachments 15.1. Each and every time a German unit moves or advances out of a hex with a printed hold value, leaving the hex vacant, place a detachment marker in the hold value hex. A detachment may be placed in a hex adjacent to an allied unit. A German unit with more than one route to its destination hex is considered to move along the route passing through HV hexes with the highest total value. So if we find a move, now, if it's moving via arrows, I think it's still got to move via its arrows, hasn't it? Well, I'm sure that'll come up when it comes up. Yeah, well, basically, if you can move through more whole value hexes, you do it. You consider to move through that. Yeah, I'm not sure if the arrows bit comes into that or not. Yeah. And then the other bullet here is, do not place detachment markers in map edge hexes and hexes adjacent to map edge hexes. Right, I might blunder with that one, but the properties of German detachments: they have no strength, they do not move, attack, defend, retreat, or advance after combat. They have no effect on German movement. Detachments do not negate Allied zones of control when tracing German supply. Detachments do not block the tracing of Allied supply, even through the hex occupied by the detachment marker, except at the times except at the specific times defined in 15.21. And it's during the end of day phase and during step 1 of the supply phase that this comes on. So I'm not going to go. Hold on. Right. The next step is how it affects us. So it affects the detachments and Allied movement and deployment. An Allied unit must stop its movement or advance after combat upon entering a hex adjacent to a German detachment. So it's kind of like a roadblock to us. Allied units do not attack detachments. An Allied reserve unit may not be placed in or adjacent to a hex with a German detachment, but may be placed 2 or more hexes away. Treating Allied unit may enter and pass through a hex adjacent to a detachment, but may not enter a hex occupied by a detachment. Removal of detachments. If an active Allied unit begins its activation adjacent to a detachment, remove the marker. So again, somewhat a roadblock there. And then if a German unit enters the hex, you remove it. And then during the end of day phase, if supply is not traceable, both supply of German and Allied supply is not traceable, I think you remove it or something like that. And then they can be used, they can take reserve units come the 18th. We'll not go into all that just yet. Right, so yeah, simply any German unit moves, if it moves out of a hold, leaves a hold value hex behind, we place a detachment. Now, I've always run out of these markers. There is a bunch of them, but I started using, I noticed it was the wee Terraforming Mars little cubes I was using for it. So, but well, there's the detachment marker. We'll use them to start with, and then if I run out, we'll just find some alternative. I did think at first when I first played the game that I was maybe doing it wrong, because I thought I'm running out of these markers, but you get that with some games. They don't supply enough, for these things. You just use something else. That's fine. Okay, so movement methods. Yeah, let's get down to it. So the special moves. Exit the map. No. Move adjacent to the muse. No. Enter empty allied VP hex. Well, yes, I think so. This one here. Now, we did say that this wasn't able, because it's breaking zone of control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't quite reach Manhay. So the only consider for special move 1C here is enter empty allied VP hex is this one here, because this does not exert a zone of control, so this can move into here, and it's not going to be considered surrounded. Well, it clearly can't be surrounded in there. If it can move in there, it's not surrounded. It must be able to move out of there. So, move active unit. Now, this is in descending order. Each time empty allied VP hex. The unit begins its move in a VP hex. Right, well, it's not. So, descending order. This is a 10, so this might win, actually. He's not active. This is win 2 of this. What have we got in here? No, we've got a 28 in there. So, in actual fact, he's winning. That's a 2 and an 8. So 28, yeah, he's going to do it, isn't he? He's going to go 1, 2, and then 3 into there. Well, he's breaking zone of control, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. And this guy doesn't exert zone of control because he's bracketed. That's right, isn't it? I'm a doubt myself there. Yeah, you need, unless he's in a town, isn't it? I was watching a little bit and getting myself confused, because dispersed units don't exert zone of control, and it doesn't matter if they're in towns or not. And I started getting mixed up with the two. Zones of control, rule 11. Bracket combat strength. Some units lose the ability to exert zone of control as they lose steps. Unit with bracket combat strength alone in a hex does not exert zone of control unless in a town or city hex or in a German unit. Or a German unit of Westfall hex. 2 units with bracket combat strength stacked together in a hex do exert zone of control. So he's just one, so he's not in a town, and he's not German in a Westfall hex, so he doesn't exert zone of control. So yeah, this guy is the highest selector number, so he's going to go 1, 2, breaking zone of control, 3, 4. Now, could he have made that route any different? No. I was going to say, can he go through this one hold value hex, but this is exerting zone of control, so that is that. So they gain control St. Vith. Was it St. Vith, that one? Yeah, and that's 2 victory points. Now this is a special move, so I don't think he needs to care about restrictions anyway. Restrictions only apply to movement methods 2 to 13. This is movement method 1, special move, so I don't even need to look at that. He is moving adjacent to allied units, but he is in an empty hex as well, so that's fine. I mean, he wouldn't adjust to another hex if he was then going to allow supply traceable to that hex, I think. Mind you, that I don't know. But then that wouldn't be the case if there was another unit in that hex. Then you know you wouldn't be moving with his method, would they, Grant? So yeah. Okay, 2 more victory points for the Germans. They're now up to 8. And remember, I do count the eliminated units, and we've only had 2 eliminated units, so that counted 1 point for them as well. So the other 7 they've got from taking victory point towns. Okay, that's it, done its thing. Now that's all the special moves we can make. Nobody else can reach a VP hex, so let's move on to step method 2. Closer to objective and next to VP hex. Okay, well, I did say that this guy can actually reach adjacent to that, can't he? So we're going to get some of that going. So this is done in ascending order. So that is unit 2, so I think he's going to be the top one, isn't he? Yeah, it's that Fuhrer Brigade unit that's selected number 1. He's not in play yet, I don't think. Oh, well, we do have these, though, Grant. That's a 2 as well, then. And smaller corps, 58th, 47th. 47th is... So he is considered first. I don't think he can reach anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Not that one, anyway. No, and there's nothing else, yeah. So, unit selector number 2 can move adjacent now. Can he move to Trois Ponts? I don't think so, no. No, he can't. No. So I think he can move adjacent to Manhay, though. With movement method 2, closer to objective and next to VP hex. And he is moving closer to his objective. You can see it along here. So if he moves there, he's clearly getting closer to that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2... No, sorry, hang on. 1, 2, that's 3. No, he's got to go down the road. Well, actually, he's wanting to do that to get the detachments as well. Because he's got to go 1, 2, breaking zone of control. 3, 4, 5. That's the only hex he can reach. 1, 2, breaking zone of control. 3, 4, 5. He's adjacent to an ally VP hex. We are going to leave a detachment here. No restrictions broken because, well, there was another unit stacked with him. Now, do they need to be able to trace supply? Is that a restriction? I know in that... No, actually, hold on. From our point of view, anytime we move a unit, we've got to make... That's a restriction we have, isn't it? We've got to be able to trace supply when we end our move. Unless we start out of, like, not being able to trace supply. Is that right? Where would I find that? Movement, I think. Not German movement, though. Let me just find that one. Right, I'm at the wrong bit here. Movement. Here we go. And I went, yeah, there we go, on page 35. I know this is not relevant to what we're doing, but just it popped in my head there. An allied unit may not end its move in a hex from which it cannot trace supply, 10.6. Allied units may not enter a hex with a German detachment marker. Right, so 10.6 says, Allied movement supply restriction. Yeah, it's on page 37, 10.6. An allied unit may not end its movement in a hex from which it cannot trace supply. And the exception is an allied unit that starts its move unable to trace supply and is unable to move to a hex from which it can trace supply is not bound by this restriction. Yeah, okay. But I don't think the German restrictions are clear. So, to be honest, they're not checking for supply just yet, but they don't care. Yeah, they don't care about moving in a hex where they would not be able to trace supply. There is a couple of movement methods. Wait, where is it? The one that enables supply. Open supply line, but that doesn't start till the 19th. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't care about supply. He's not broke any of the 4 restrictions in 9.21. Yeah, because mainly because he's leaving that unit there, really. That's the easy way of sort of saying you shouldn't be breaking any other restriction, because if this was surrounding something, for instance, and all. Right, anyway, Grant, move on. Right, can any other units move closer to their objective and next to VP Hex in ascending order? Well, we know this guy can, but then he might be... Well, hang on, he's... Oh, I've got unit 1 down below there. Oops. Right, hang on. He would have been considered for that move first. Not sure if he can make it or not. Let's put this guy back and take that away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, because he's 1x behind, yeah. So he would not be able to make it. He would. So let's put that back again. Yeah, and unit 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he can't reach either. And there's nothing else that they can head to. Well, Bastone's been taken. You've got what a rush they are, but it's still just a wee bit too far away, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's too far away. And there's nothing down here. Ettlebrook's down here, but it's a bit too far away as well. Poipon we can't get to, so none of that can happen. However, Unit 8 here, as long as he's not breaking any restrictions, can join that one, can't he? Because that was the exact same move. I don't think he is breaking any restriction. Oh. Yeah, I don't think he's breaking any restrictions. Do not move. Because that guy's not surrounded. He's not breaking surround. He's not moving out. Town city. He's not creating a condition where ally supplies traceable an empty German town city or Westwall Hex. Okay. So yeah, he's gonna do the same. He's the same amount of movement, so he's gonna move adjacent to Manhay as well, getting closer to his army objective. Same detachment would have been placed, so that's that. Right, I think that's all of that. Now, can we cause surround now? Well, we might have been able to with one of the units, but that's what I don't think. No, actually, I can see a situation where we can cause surround on this unit. I think this would be done in descending order. So again, every unit went 210. I think it's the highest now, is it? Yeah, 10. So, well, yeah, he's going to do it, isn't he? So 1 and then 2, 3 into there. This guy's already surrounded. Actually, he became surrounded because that unit just moved in there, didn't he? I don't believe we can surround this. We would need to have a zone of control on this hex. No, because we can't get... Well, you can get in there. Yeah, no, but I need to... No, I can't. I need to exert zone of control. I need to get a unit in there, basically. I can't do that. Right, but this unit 10, we can surround this unit here. But remember, he exerts no zone of control, so it's 1 and then 2, 3 into there. No restrictions broken that I can see. And he's fine, surrounded that unit. Now, with him making that move, is it now is it possible to get a unit in there? I don't think it is, but let's just look at him. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not able to get fully in there. Because remember, we checked these in descending order, so this was the one that we did move first, and now there's a chance to surround this, but it's not quite doable. Right, can't see anything else that could be surrounded, so let's bash on. We're over an hour now, Grant. What I'll probably do is just get the movement done here, and then we can come back to the next part with any combat checks and whatever, because I'm running short of time. Open supply line doesn't start to the 19th. Right, 5 to 9 is just infantry still. So that's mechanised. So is that. So is that. So is that. So is that. That's the only infantry unit that's active. Yeah, he's going to be able to do something, isn't he? He can move adjacent. Hey! Wait, hang on. I'm forgetting this is a victory point town. Let's step back a bit here. Well, I mean, clearly the special move enter at VP hex, that worked. But then special movement method 2, move to a hex both closer to a unit's army objective and adjacent to an allied VP hex. These two units were here, they were already adjacent. So that restriction said, do not move a unit starting adjacent to VP hex, occupied by allied units with strength 5 or less, 3 or less in a city. 5 or less is 4, unless moving to another hex adjacent to the same VP hex. Yeah, I've made the mistake there already, haven't I? It's so easy, isn't it? Let's rewind. Oh, God. Yeah, because it makes sense. They're probably wanting to mount an attack on this. In actual fact, see if I don't move them, I think this guy can become surrounded. Right, I'm going to put these back. I'm going to take that away. This guy moved from here. I don't think he's going to change. Yeah, you better move it back. Well, he was there, wasn't he? Yeah, okay. Rewind. Okay, back to movement method 2, which is bound by 9.21's restrictions. Move to a hex both closer to unit's army objective and adjacent to an allied VP hex. So that is what you would think they wanted to do, because they're moving closer to the objective next to VP hex. However, they are already adjacent to an allied VP hex, and restriction 9.21a says, do not move a unit starting adjacent to VP hex, occupied by allied units with strength 5 or less. It's got a strength of 4. So yes, 3 or less in a city, it's not a city. Unless moving to another hex adjacent to the same VP hex. So they don't want to move to there unless... I can't do it, can I? I can't do it. Because it's 3 to move into there, and then another 3 it would be back into the woods. So, no. And even if when you move down to close surround, they can't do that either. They can't. Even when this guy moves into there, which he's probably still going to do, I think. Well, actually, no, hold on. They would maybe be wanting to move adjacent to this. Yeah, I'm jumping away ahead of things. So Unit 3 is probably going to come up here as well, isn't it? And Unit 2. Yeah, I'm just completely blanked out. And yeah, I thought I was going through that smoothly. I'm just completely... just missing the fact that Veal Sam is a victory point town, occupied by Allied unit. Well, it doesn't matter. Well, it is occupied, but you know, it's an Allied VP hex. Right, you know what I think I might do is I think I might just stop now after I've just started making blunders there. I've sort of run out of time a bit. This would still be the first move for sure, because it was special move 1C. And that was done in descending order, so he was the highest active unit that was able to do that. Hang on, Grant. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he came from that hex there, didn't he? There was 3 units in there. He must have came from that hex. So I'm wondering, where was he? Was he active? Yeah, he came from that hex. He's the highest selector number. He was able to reach that. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm going to just stop there, and we'll come back to the rest of this. Okay, I didn't get as much done. Yeah, but I was almost getting myself in a right mess there. So yeah, it's weird though, because I thought, right, this is all going nicely, quite smoothly. I'm doing it right and whatever, and then there you go, I'm not. Okay, I'll give myself a bit more time. Probably, yeah, I won't get back again today, but I might get another shot tomorrow or Saturday maybe. Probably more likely tomorrow than Saturday. So hopefully I can get another part done then, and we'll get this all sorted out properly. Okay, cheers.